This video describes the features of the administration home screen, which I've just drawn onto the screen here. Again, the red button bar contains the typically active areas that administration is concerned with. The second level is more the scholastic setup in terms of the school year and so on. This is a listing of all the documentation and so on. So let me walk you through it. We start with the administration report. It's a list of reports. We call it the principal's reports that are prepared for the ownership by the principal. Again, we'll go through this in detail, but it's a very simple report that highlights the main points, topics, and allows them to put in just a small note plus a little text, because owners don't want to read very much information, and this would give them an opportunity to capsulize it and put it forward. Okay. Oops, I'm sorry. I pushed the wrong button. Sorry. Attendance is access to the teacher's attendance and the student's attendance. I won't go into those at this point in time, but this gives the administration access to all the attendance records in the school. The circulation is set up so that all the documentation, all the PDFs and so on go to a certain set of people in the system. So we have created this system. It's all defaulted to the info at schools info, I guess I should say, so that there's always an email address, but we put the people in the different accounts and so on. And this one is just set up as a blank. The contracts are access to the listing of all contracts, and what you see here are a series of test ones that I have put together. And this also gives you the benefit list and the salary list and so on. All right. Oops, I went to the wrong place. I'm sorry. That doesn't matter. The leave, again, is the list of the leaves that have been applied for by the staff, so that the administration has a quick access to that. Right? The lesson plans takes you into the lesson plans. We have the two types. CIK has one set of lesson plans. The high school and so on, or other places have another style of lesson plans that takes you directly to the home screen, and you can then choose the home or the lesson plans to view. The newsletter, again, is a list of newsletters. It's just a draft of and there's a possibility that we could produce a newsletter. We haven't determined yet whether it will be, just an example. The school setup is one of the main things, and certainly the starting point for any school administrator is to fill out the school setup. And the information is in a series of tabs, what the school name, etc. We have the school's address and so on. This is the terms of the year that you're into. You see we've set up here 3 terms for the upcoming school year from 2017 to 18. This is circulation. It's the same circulation list you saw a moment ago. Here we have a place where you can put in the school's motto. I know we just put in some drafts and so on that people can follow. The accreditation is inserted, and you saw that information on the homepage. This is the managers, which is the school owner, and our offshore education consultant, which is our business that looks after all this information. This is the software license. That is, so people, if you wish to read it, use it. This is, the staff don't sign this, the school agrees to this. Okay. Age by grade, again, is the same information. This is identities are, again, that's okay, I'll get rid of that. And the geography is a place where you can put the locations that relate to your business. In this case, we're using Hanoi. You can see we've put the districts of Hanoi, the cities of Vietnam. For example, if you're doing Canada, it would be Canada, China, and the states. So if you're in England, it would be a certain number of states and so on. And some of the school-specific words, for example, in our case, we use the word term for term. You can also use quarter, period, or semester. Okay. Now, the other button at the top is the logos, and this is the place where all the logos are copied and pasted into, so that they're used throughout the system. Okay. And the sign-ins is one other little area that shows you here everybody's sign-in and sign-out information. And because I have been doing so many what would you call it, strange connections with this work. It is a jumble, but we'll clean that up before the system goes on. Okay. So in a nutshell, then we also have the latitude of the school and, of course, offshore's business. Okay. And back to administration. So that's the school setup. Now, in here, in this row, we have the information on setting up the academic layout. The age table, of course, is, we've seen that before, but it tells you the grades and so on that are as expected. ESL level is standard across the world. Everybody uses the same English language descriptors and so on. Beginner, elementary, pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced, and well advanced. They also have a series of gradings. As you can see, we have some down here. We haven't put them all in because not every school uses them. And this is the criteria that they use for determining whether you are a beginner or an intermediate or elementary and so on. This information is provided and used throughout the system, and you can upgrade it as you require. Okay, the terms, you also saw a version of it, and this is the main setup for the terms. You can create a new term. I have created these terms, but I haven't counted up the number of close days. So we actually have the Monday to Friday days are calculated based on these 2 days, the start date and the end date. Calculates the number of teach days, which is Monday to Friday days minus the close days. So school days and so on. Statutory holidays, but not weekends, are counted up and put in this number, and we have the final number. Okay, and time slots. Here we've got high school time slots set up by blocks, the number, and when the start and end times, and then they're put into a couple of formats, and this is used for secondary school. Right. The programs, this is the list of programs that we have put into the system. You are free to use them or eliminate them. For example, the CIK kindergarten system has one of the programs, and we have business, career education, mathematics, and so on that are typical of the elementary, middle, and high school programs. Okay. We also have courses. Here, this is the list of courses that we have created for the programs. And you'll see, for example, in the CIK system, we have 2 nurseries and 2, it's basically one class, nursery class in the fall, one class in the wintertime. If we have a second nursery class, we have to create them. In English language, we have certain classes and so on. Okay. And in terms of classes, so we then take the step is that you have programs that in which courses are created, and for courses you then have classes. So it's a pyramid. The program at the top, the classes at the middle level, courses at the middle level, and classes at the system level, and that's where students are assigned to. So you might be in grade 3, but you would be in class number 1 or number 2 or number 3 for each semester. So I'm just showing you that so you have an idea what it is. This, of course, takes you then to the student list, which is the active students in the school. So you can see and access their records quickly. And the CIK timetable is specific to CIK. It's been set up not by me but by the school, and this is an old version that has not been upgraded for the new year, which they will sit down and upgrade and put in place. And lastly is a room schedule, which you may and may not use, so we can set up the room uses throughout the year. Right? And now on the green level, we have got a series of documents: accounting documents, administration documents, admissions documents, human resources, teaching documents. Now, each of those departments or divisions create their own documents. The school documents are down here under school documents. They are the ones that are common to everybody in the school, but on the accounting documents, they're accessible to the administration or the accounting people. And the same thing with administration and admissions and so on. And these are self-generated, so all you have to do as the administrator is open this up, and you'll see the list of documents, and you can then click on the PDF to look at that reports. For example, here the incident reports and so on. This is we just recently added to Schoolware, and it gives, instead of digging deep into the incident report or something, you can go to the admin documents, and see the accident reports, and it really makes things easier for you. The policy editor is a listing of all the policies in the school, and you have the ability in this case to edit it, whereas the staff in their ability can only read this information. So when you want to read, for example, absence of staff, this is the policy. It can be edited, and you can apply it to either student or teacher, and you can make the changes as required, or then you can flip through them as well and close it out. Okay. The same thing with the Living In editor. This is the for non-Hanoi people, or non-local people, you might say. And this was and this is an example we're using Living in Vietnam, but if this was Australia or Thailand, it would be about those countries. And here's the ability to change the text and upgrade the system. All right. Also the university's editor and the lesson plan learning areas, so you can actually delve into the and edit the learning areas for those lesson plans. So in a nutshell, and of course, you have the calendar, that's just you saw it before. And across the bottom we have the email addresses, and here we have the common elements to the system. So that in a nutshell is the administration home.